Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking all about the Faction Rally event, and I'll be showing you guys a little bit later the best possible method for farming Faction Rally tokens. Now, me and my fire team spent about 6 hours last night grinding, and we tried a bunch of different methods, in trial and error fashion, and we think that we have, a pretty basic idea of what the best way of grinding these tokens are. I'll be telling you guys a bunch of tips and tricks, and I'll also be showing you the route that me and my fire team took on a specific destination. So as you guys know, with this season, which is number 3, you can only choose one faction across your entire account. That means you cannot pledge to all 3 factions on different characters, so please make your choice very wisely. Now, I personally picked Future Warcall because they do have a sidearm by the name of the Vision, and that has kill clip on it, which is very unique. A lot of sidearms do not have kill clip, and also there is a catalyst for the Sunshot, which I think is going to make the weapon go from a pretty good weapon to something that's going to be amazing and top tier. The Graviton Lance is also a very good choice in dead orbit, but ultimately it is up to you guys. The very first thing that I'm going to recommend is make sure to get the Bursting Wisdom exotic Ghost Shell. This actually gets you more loot from public events on any destination, and we're going to be doing a lot of public events for this specific method, so try to pick it up. And if you don't have it already, this week Eververse has it in her prismatic matrix, so if you do have some of those, you can turn it in and hopefully get that exotic Ghost Shell. The next thing I'm going to recommend is putting on the Crimson. This is a very essential weapon for this Faction Rally farm. If you don't know already, there's a brand new system called Renowned, and what Renowned does is it's very similar to the challenge cards when you're doing the Nightfall. Whenever you get to a certain stack or multiplier, the enemies become much more difficult, and you start to handicap your power level, and at the same time your health regeneration becomes extremely slow, so you're very prone to dying. Me and my fire team died a lot and reset our renowns, and we slowly but surely started to learn from our mistakes and started dying a lot less often. But I'll explain the whole renown system in just a second, but essentially you want to trust me on this and put on the Crimson. It is a weapon that when you get kills with it, there's a chance of you getting health regen, and that is of course very important. If you're on a warlock, you want to make sure to run the Devour build. Basically anything that gets your health back up is what you want to use. If you're on a hunter, for example, you're probably going to want to use the exotic helmet by the name of the Worm Husk. I believe that's the name. I can't remember because I don't use it too often, but you also want to use that 100%. So those are the few things that I would recommend in terms of health regen because of Renowned, but the next thing I'm going to recommend has a direct correlation to how much renown you can get by doing certain activities. So if you do not have the Faction Rally armor set, then what you're going to be doing is getting 3 renowned from completing a heroic public event, and you'll only be getting 2 renowned just by completing a regular event. At the same time, if you go ahead and pull a patrol, and it doesn't matter which one, you'll get 1 renown score just by completing it without the armor set, but with the armor set you get 2 renown. So the armor set is actually a very big deal. If you're someone that likes to open up all of your Faction Rally tokens at the same time with your vendor, I would recommend not doing that because you want to get the armor set as quickly as possible, as it does help you and make this method a lot quicker. Essentially, what you want to do is enter a lost sector with a 5 renown stack every single time. That way, when you do enter the lost sector and kill the boss and open the chest, you'll end up getting the maximum amount of tokens per lost sector run, which is 10. Now, if you haven't figured it out already, 1 renowned equals 2 tokens. So if you go into a lost sector and open the chest with 1, you'll get 2. If you have a 2 stack of renowned, you'll get 4, and so on and so forth. Now, it really isn't the end of the world if you die inside the lost sector. Believe it or not, I died quite a lot, and 90% of the time when I did die in the lost sector, it wasn't because of the ads, but rather because I had a teammate, Pure Chill, who ended up shooting all the boxes and killing me every single freaking time. But it was pretty fun, at least. It gave me a little bit of a laugh. But anyways, make sure your teammates are not shooting boxes or the explosive barrels, because that does a crap ton of damage to you when you have 5 renowned, and of course health regen is extremely slow, so if you do get 1 one shot by those barrels, then an ad is definitely going to clear you up, and you'll make some enemies in there. You know, you'll have some close friends with you playing, and those guys can turn into enemies very quickly, so just be careful with each other in there. You don't want to start a fight. And anyways, so the reason why you want to get a 5-stack before entering the lost sector is because it makes things most efficient. If you enter in with a 4-stack or a 3-stack and then complete the lost sector and then get out of there and do another public heroic event, trust me, that method is just overall a lot slower, because while you're doing these public heroic events, you can pop one of the patrols at the exact same time and kind of do 2 birds 1 stone style. So that's essentially what you want to go for, and a lot of the time it's really awesome because a high value target will pop up while you're doing the public heroic event, and that'll give you 5 instantly. One thing that I actually just remembered to mention is that the public heroic events are absolutely necessary, not only because they give you a high value of renowns or a high stack of renowns, but they also give you 5 faction rally tokens upon completing them. So again, it's not just about the renown score that you're doing these, you know, 3 or 4 renown score is a lot, and they definitely help you get to the lost sector quicker, but you're doing them because they also give you tokens. So again, another case of 2 birds 1 stone. Now, we were just at the Winding Cove, and as soon as we looted the chest, we actually came to this location here because a public heroic event was spawning. What you want to do is, as soon as you loot one of the lost sectors, take a look at your map, and most likely if you started at Winding Cove, there's going to be either the Gulch or the Sludge. You want to go to those 2 locations, and honestly, it seems like there's like a perfect route that you can take on Earth. That's why I like this location over Nessus. You can do the Winding Cove, go over to the Gulch or the Sludge, wherever there's a public heroic event, and by the time you're done with that heroic event, by the time you get a 5-stack and loot the lost sector over there, you can fly back to the Winding Cove, and even though it doesn't show you that there's a public heroic event on the map, 9 times out of 10 there's still one up there, and you can do that one extremely quickly and just run that same route over and over, rinse and repeat. So like I mentioned earlier, it is very important to pop one of the patrols while you're doing the public heroic events. That way you can do them at the exact same time and become super efficient. If you do have the faction rally armor, make sure to put it on, because as I mentioned earlier, you do get 4 renown for completing a public heroic event, and that would only lead you to complete either 1 high value target kill while you're doing the public heroic event, or you can do a simple patrol at the exact same time, and that would get you 5 right away. If you haven't noticed just by watching the gameplay, me and my fire team unfortunately did not have the full armor set. I opened 30 packages and I didn't get the boots. Like, are you kidding me, Bungie? Please. So I'm going to be grinding a little bit later on. I hope I can get the boots. That way I can get a full stack of the faction rally armor. I'll also have the emblem, and that would then give me 4 renown score every single time I do a public heroic event. I would then just simply pop a patrol, kill some people, and then run into a lost sector, loot the lost sector as quickly as possible, and then fast travel to another location on Earth and rinse and repeat. It really is that easy, guys. Only thing that you have to watch out for is not dying in the lost sector, and of course watching your death and your health. Please be very careful. Don't be like me and my fire team. We were at times definitely a little bit reckless, and that costed us quite a few tokens. So as this video is winding down, I'm going to give you guys my last few tips here that I have. Some of this stuff may seem a little bit obvious to you guys, but it's stuff that I definitely think is worth mentioning, as it'll kind of finalize your strategy and give you guys that confidence to go in here without even attempting this once and know the strategy perfectly. So the first thing that I want to mention that's probably pretty obvious to a lot of you guys is make sure to run this with a fire team. Now, I totally get it. A lot of people just simply don't have the capability of getting a full fire team ready to do this and grind for a few hours. Maybe you guys don't have tons of people added online or whatever the case may be. I would recommend going to LFG. That's a pretty good place to find people. If you're on PlayStation 4, you could always join a Destiny 2 community and try finding people there, or just, you know, if you find people in the world just grinding by themselves solo, send them a message, ask them if they want to grind, and then you could of course share your specific strategy that you have, or maybe they'll even give you guys another strategy that works for them. Doing this solo is is definitely possible, don't get me wrong, but I really can't imagine how frustrating and time consuming it would be to loot the lost sector all by yourself, especially with a 5 stack of renowned. That just simply sounds like an absolute biatch, if you know what I mean. I don't want to say the word, but yeah, not very fun, I will tell you guys that much. Now again, another tip that I can give you guys is that when you are looting the lost sectors and when you are doing this strategy and grinding, because you are using the Crimson, you're not going to be able to put on a heavy duty exotic that, you know, has the potential of really destroying the boss in the lost sector. And since you are handicapped, the boss is no easy kill, so what you want to do is make sure you're saving your supers for when you get in there. What I found is that an Arc Strider does considerable damage to the boss. Avoid Nova Bomb also works very well, and then of course if you are on a golden gun, you can use Celestial Nighthawk, and that'll rip his health pretty damn nicely. So make sure to save those supers as you're going into the lost sector. You want to make sure that at the end of a public heroic event, you're not wasting supers on like 25% of the boss. Just kill him with your weapon, go into the lost sector, pop supers on the boss, kill him super quickly, open the chest, and fly to the next destination. Me and my fire team, once we were getting good at this strategy, we honestly weren't even killing a lot of the ads. We were kind of running by them as a fire team and just bombarding the boss, opening the chest, and then going to the next destination as quickly as possible. You want to maximize time because this is a faction rally event that's going to take you probably about 8 to 9 hours to actually get level 50, and then that's not even including what you have to grind to get the catalyst fully upgraded, so make sure to be aware of that. On top of all of that, guys, there's ornaments for the faction rally armor. The progress for the faction rally ornaments won't actually start for a lot of the items until you get a full set of armor, so that's just another reason why you want to go ahead and open up your packages as quickly as possible. Don't save like 500 tokens if you don't have an armor set and then open them all at once. You want to make sure that, you know, as a basic rule of thumb, every, you know, 3 or 4 packages, so once you get about 60 or 80 tokens, close to 100, you want to make sure to open those up, and then you can fly back and start grinding some more. But that is it for the video though, guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If this helped you out in any way, shape, or form, a like rating would be very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe for more daily Destiny 2 content. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.